go. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Anair, you're here. I didn't know that. Now I do. All right, so to review a polynomial. A polynomial is of this form right here. P of x equals a sub n times x to the n. This is, remember, called the leading what? Not quite. If it's the x with it, it's called the leading term. It's called the leading term. Terms are separated by plus or minus signs. So n is the degree of this polynomial. And a sub n, if I circle that alone, a sub n is the leading what? That's your leading coefficient. Okay? And then you can have any combination of terms that are smaller than the leading term. So like if the degree is 5, I have an x to the 5th term. I can have an x to the 4th term, or an x to the 3rd term, or an x squared term, or an x term, or a sub o, which is constant. Your a's are just the coefficients, okay? If we have a single term, and we classify it by a single term, we have a, not a monosera, but a monomial, okay? If there's more than one term, we call it a binomial or a trinomial, or as we just tested over, 4 terms or more, we call it a polynomial. Yeah. The degree, here, this one's new because we can have more than one variable. The degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables, okay? Now, usually we only have one variable in a polynomial, but it could be that we have more than one variable. You add up the exponents to get the degree of that monomial. The degree, then, of a polynomial is going to be the degree of the monomial with the greatest degree. Let me show you what I mean, okay? Example 1, identify the degree for each problem. Explain how you found it. Explain how you found it. All right, this is a polynomial, but notice it has more than one variable. It doesn't have just an x in it. It has an x and a y and a z. It's just one term, though, because there's no plus or minus signs. Would you agree? It's one term. So this is a monomial. What do you suspect the degree of this monomial will be? You would think it's 3 because the x has an exponent of 3. However, that is not how it works if there's more than one variable. We have an x to the 3rd, we have a y to the 1st, and we have a z to the 2nd. The degree is going to be the sum of those exponents, which is 6. Very good. If there's more than one variable, the degree is the sum of the exponents. There you go. That's easy. That's easy. Okay. Let's look at this fellow over here. How many terms do we have?
4.
We have 4 terms. So is this a quintinomial or quadrinomial? No, we just call it a polynomial, a 4-term polynomial. Yeah. What is the degree? Notice we're back to just a single variable. What's the degree? Is it 2?
11. Oh, it's 6.
Oh, very good. If there's more than one term, we look for the monomial term that has the largest degree. It's not written in standard form. But if we were to write it in standard form, it would be negative 2x to the 6 minus x to the third, plus x squared plus 5. If we were to write it like that, now we would have it in standard form. That's what this is called, standard form. And now the degree is equal to, as you said, 6. We're back to one variable. That's the same degree as the previous monomial one, right? Which had more than one variable, x, y, and z. This is one term, but multiple factors. This one has multiple terms, but just a variable factor of x. Okay? So that's what makes this section a little bit different. We can have multiple variables, all right? We already knew the answer to this question before today because it was just a single variable. All right, 5. 5. What's the degree?
1, 0.
1, 0, 10?
No, 0.
0. Yeah, very good. If there is no variable there, you can add a variable as long as you put it to the 0 power, because x to the 0 power is 1. X to the 0 power is 1. And 5 times 1 is still 5. So what is the degree? It equals 0. It's a constant. This is a constant. It's a monomial. It's a constant. It has no x. It has no variable at all. So the degree is 0. That's an easy way to remember it. How many variables does it have? 0. It has 0 variables. So what's the degree? 0. Yeah. Yeah. All right. How about this guy? 3 squared x to the 5th. What's the degree? Gotcha.
5.
It's not 7. Why is it only 5, Riley?
Because it doesn't say 3x squared.
It doesn't say 3x squared. It just says 3 squared. Is 3 squared a variable or a number? It's a number. It's not a variable. It's just like 9, right? So another name for this term is 9x to the 5th. The degree is only pertaining to the variables. Only to the variables. So might we try to trick you? Yeah, we might. We might be trying to trick you. Okay, the degree is 5. You think you can handle that in the homework? I'm pretty sure you can. All right, let us review some more. Write the polynomial in standard form. You had a question on the test that asked you to name the polynomial. When you name a polynomial, you name it 2 ways, by the degree and by the number of terms. So like a quadratic trinomial, a cubic binomial, a quartic monomial, whatever, or a 4-term polynomial, whatever the case may be. Is this guy here a polynomial, yes or no? Is it a polynomial? Yes, yes. Is it written in standard form? No, it's not. Let's go ahead and write it in standard form. What goes first? X to the 4th. What goes next? Negative 5x squared. And last, of course, is plus 3. Do we need to give this guy a name? Can we name him f of x, or do we need to do that? We don't need to. We could, right? If we name him f of x, now can we refer to him as f? We don't have to keep saying, hey, you, hey, you, hey, you. If we want his attention, we can say, hey, f. And he'll turn his head and say, yes. Right? So you have an expression that's a polynomial. If you give him a name, f of x, there's nothing wrong with that. What is the leading coefficient? Good. That is the number in front of the leading term. The leading term is 1x to the 4th. The number in front is 1. What is the degree?
4.
4. How many terms do we have? 3. So what is his name going to be? Quartic, because it's degree 4. Trinomial. Very good, because it has 3 terms. Could you call it a trinomial quartic? Would that work too? A trinomial quartic? I probably wouldn't take off, but that sounds funny, right? A trinomial quartic. So a quartic trinomial sounds better, because a trinomial is noun and a quartic is an adjective. Was that hard? Was that hard? No, that was not hard at all. That could have been a test question yesterday, but it wasn't. Okay, so what are we doing in this section that's a little bit different? Remember when we expanded the polynomials, like the bonus question on the test yesterday? When you expand a polynomial, or even when you FOIL, you have to add like terms, right? You have to combine like terms. That's what we're doing in this section. We're going to add and subtract polynomials, and the way we do that is by combining like terms. Combining like, and that's an important term, or word, I should say, terms. They have to have the exact same variable piece. That's what makes a term a like term. They have the exact same variable piece. So we've done this already in different sections this year. So this shouldn't be too hard. Simplify the polynomial by adding, subtracting, write your answer in standard form. Okay, so we got some x's here. What would be the first thing y'all would do? Distribute the negative. What would I do in the first set of parentheses? Anything? Just get rid of them, right? There's nothing to distribute, so I can just get rid of them. 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus x. The goal is to get rid of the parentheses, right? Because the parentheses are like walls, and walls keep people separate or apart. We want to combine like terms, so we want to tear down these walls. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. All right, let us distribute. Minus 6x minus x squared plus 8. There we go. And now we got to do is combine like terms, and I'll write it in descending order of degree. So what's the largest degree in this group of terms? 3. So I'm going to underline it. Is there any other cubic term? Nope. So he goes first, and now I look for the squareds. I'll double underline all the squareds. I got a -5 of those, minus one more of those makes -6 of those. And then I got some x's. I'll triple underline those. And I got x minus 6x, that's minus 5x. And then the thing that's not underlined is the last thing, that is plus 8. So this ends up being a what type of polynomial if we name it? What's the degree? It's a cubic. And because it has 4 terms, we'll just say a cubic what? Polynomial. We don't say trinomial plus 1 or anything like that. Cubic polynomial. It's fun. It's easy. It's easy, right? It's fun. It's easy. It's easy. Questions on letter A? Am I going too quickly? You might be able to finish your homework today in class at the rate we're going. I better slow it down. What did one farmer say to the other farmer? Hey, what did you say, tomato? That works. I was going to say nice cow. That's not really a joke. That's just an observation. Nice cow. Hey, you got to say hey first to get their attention, right? Hey, you, farmer. Hey, farmer. Hey, f of x. Farmer, f of x. Yes. Hey, look here. We got 2 variables, don't we? A's and B's. What's our goal? Simplify by combining like terms? We got to tear down the walls, don't we? And to tear down the walls, we have to what apply? Multiply. Distribute apply. Yeah. We have to distribute. And distributing is really multiplication. So let us distribute here. We get 2a times 4a, that is 8a squared. Looks good. 2a times negative b is negative 2ba or ab? Does it matter? We like ab because the alphabet song, right? All right. Now I'm going to distribute. I got to be careful here. I am distributing a negative 1/2 b. A negative 1/2 b. So what is negative 1/2 times 6? Negative 3. And what's b times a? ab. Very good. I like to do the numbers first and the variables second. All right, now we'll do this one. Negative 1/2 b times negative 2. What's negative 1/2 times negative 2? Plus 1 times b, which is 1b, or just b? B. B. All right, now, how do you write this in standard form if there's more than one variable? The question is, you can. All right? So let's start with 8a squared. And I do have like terms, don't I? Minus 2 of those minus those makes how many of those? Minus 5 of those. And those happen to be abs, right? And then we say plus b, and that's good. We can stop right there. We can stop right there. What's the degree of the polynomial? 2. Which term gives us the degree? The first one, the second one, or the third one? The first one. Or the what? What's the degree of the middle term? It's also 2, isn't it? Because there's 2 variables. 1 plus 1 is 2. So you could get the degree from either one of those terms. Either one of those terms. Yep. Yep. Typically, we don't see polynomials. We don't really call them polynomials if they have more than one variable in it. Okay? But we can still classify it as such today. Boy, that was fun. I will simplify and then name a given polynomial. What would this one be called if we named it? If it's degree 2, quadratic. And there's 3 terms, so it's a quadratic trinomial. Yeah. Now, the leading term I wouldn't ask you here because the leading term could be a squared or it could be minus 5 ab, either one, because they both have degree 2. So they would have to arm wrestle over who gets to, or maybe just take turns, right? You be the leading term for a second, and then I'll be a leading term for a second, and we'll just alternate every second. All right, next page. What the? Where'd the rest of the notes go? We're done. That's it. I'm sorry to waste your time today. But that's all our goal was for today. If you read the we will, I will, do y'all read the we will, I will statements? I hope you do every day, because I put them up there for y'all. We will name polynomials according to their degree and numbers of terms and add and subtract polynomials. I will simplify and then name a given polynomial. That's what you did. That's what we did. Guess what you get to do now? Homework. Okay. Let me be the first to tell you this year, Merry Christmas. Be the first to tell you. I usually don't tell people Happy New Year. We don't celebrate that at my house. We just call it Tuesday. I don't even know. What's New Year's Day this year? Is it Tuesday? I took my calendar down. Hey, that might be worth noting. What's that? Oh, New Year's Day is Monday this year. Yeah. New Year's Day is Monday. So we'll just call it Monday in my house. Actually, that's when UT plays Washington. We call that football day. Okay. Any questions before we conclude today's lesson? Okay, bye everybody.